Welcome back, folks, to Bum Talk episode 18. First episode of 2019. We're off the air for about 6-7 weeks. I was on vacation for a couple of weeks. I am your charismatic host, Che Bums, along with my brother, Danny Bums, who's wearing a Yu-Gi-Oh shirt today. Yugi Moto, Heart of the Cards, Guide Me. There he is, Yugi Moto, Kings of Kings. Number one king in the Duelist Kingdom. But we could talk about that in another episode. We're back. We're all gone for a few weeks. It happens. Vacation. Missed a few weeks of fights. But this week was a good week to come back. Happy President's Day for everyone who was off today. I was off today. A lot of us were off today. Yeah, it was a double header back-to-back Saturday and Sunday. We got some action Saturday night and Sunday. But Danny Bums, welcome back.
Hey, what's up?
We're all here. And we're going to open up with Saturday night, some MMA, Bellator 216, Welterweight Grand Prix, the third first round match of the Welterweight Grand Prix, World Grand Prix title, between MVP, Michael Venom Page, and the veteran Paul Daley, who's been around for over 15 years fighting. And the match was back and forth. It could have gone both ways, apparently. We got home around the end of the third round, and from what I saw in the third round, Daley won that round. We saw round 4, Page took over, and then round 5 could have gone both ways, because I believe the decision was 48-47, right? Across the board? 48-47?
I don't think so.
With MVP advancing, who everyone knows MVP is like one of Bellator's like high prospects. He's undefeated, 14-0. He has 10 consecutive wins in Bellator, tied for second most in history. And he'll face off Douglas Lima in the semifinals probably sometime in the year around October, September. But quick thoughts about the fight. I know you enjoyed the fight a lot when we got back home Saturday night.
Yeah, I thought it was finally I got to see the Bellator Phenom, their biggest prize possession ever, in action, and expected more. And maybe he finally fought a game opponent.
That's probably true too.
A veteran who's fought, no, not in the UFC, but in Strikeforce, he's fought people, and
Tyrone, Phonic Diaz,
been in big matches with Bellator. So it was good to see him. He's a really good kid. Good fighter.
Yeah, good fighter.
See what happens against Douglas Lima,
who is a 2-time Bellator welterweight champion, who's been in Bellator for a long time. He lost the belt to Ben Askren. Well, no, I think he lost or he challenged for it, but regardless. So he advances. And then the other side of the bracket, the last first round is John Fitch, who's a UFC veteran. He fought at PFL. He's fighting the current welterweight champion, Rory McDonald, whose belt is on the line throughout the tournament. That's in April 27th. So the winner of that faces a Gracie brother, actually. I think his name is Neiman Gracie.
Right.
Yeah, so
it was cool.
Yeah.
Eager to see it.
Saw 50 Cent at the end.
Yeah, we're eager to see what happens with this tournament. Yeah.
And the other match there, which we missed because we were out, there was a heavyweight title eliminator there. And I forget his first name. Last name is Congo. He has like 10 straight victories in the division, so he's going to fight Ryan Bader for the heavyweight title sometime, probably end of the year. I think his name is like Cage Congo. But he's UFC veteran. He's like over 40 years old. 10 straight victories. I think he got with Bellator. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much for Bellator. It's usually always the main and co-main event that we usually catch, the big fights for the welterweight Grand Prix. But Saturday night we also had some boxing a little earlier.
And next week, they're also doing the Ireland card.
Dublin, the return of Mr. Gallinger, who got his first professional loss, I think about a year ago. Lost to that kid, Ricky Bolanes, got knocked out, and we'll see. It's always tough after your first loss. Come back fight.
Yeah, it's big for SBG Ireland, for all those, so it's...
You think Conor will be there?
Why not? I don't know.
We'll see, yeah.
We'll see, but...
Remember his last Bellator incident?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we'll definitely be seeing Coach Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll see what happens with that.
That's what's happening in the world of Bellator, giving us such great fights.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Bellator.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with next week. So, anything else about Bellator, Danny Bones, or you want to move on to the next topic, or either man Yugimoto?
They had that fight on Friday, right?
Yeah, I wasn't really following it, but the biggest news, the main event, what happened was it was a no contest. Matt Mitchell accidentally nut checked it. Some Russian guy.
I saw some memes about that.
Yeah, within the first 15 seconds, he got a nut check was accidental, so he got rules and no contest. Matt Mitchell, UFC veteran, the guy he fought, don't really know much about him.
Yeah. I imagine this welterweight Grand Prix thing is gonna. I think the appropriate way it should end is with Michael Venom Page versus
Roy McDonald.
Yeah, and then I'm sure Bellator wants to see.
Yeah.
MVP win it all.
Champion versus
Vontamius Porner.
Champion versus their, like you said, the top biggest prospect.
Probably their only one because they had Aaron Pico.
Aaron Pico, yeah. He lost too. He lost in the Fedor card, I believe. That was when he fought.
But they have big names. They have
do, yeah.
On their own. They
the champ.
They have Jack Swagger.
Yeah, made his debut.
They have
Yeah. They have the champ Brian Bader.
Yeah,
obviously.
Brian Bader.
Gregor Mousasi, who was supposed to fight.
Gregor Mousasi.
He was a co-main for that Fedor fight, but
he got hurt.
Got some kind of injury. So they got the names they have, obviously. What's this guy's name from UFC?
Dylan Danis is going to say. Who knows when he's going to come back because of the commissioning.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised he wasn't part of that whole case the first time. But I guess separate case, separate incident. I'm not too sure. But
yeah, really weird.
You'll probably hear in a few weeks what the ruling is. But it's all going to be retro anyway.
Right.
From October 6th. So yeah.
Retrospective to what I
Yeah, so we'll see with that. But yeah, like I said, UFC has built itself the past 2 years. Obviously, with 50 Cent being involved too.
Yeah.
That you see him with all his hashtags. It has either Bellator or referring to his own champagne. So, and he was there at the end. He gave MVP.
Yeah, a bottle of his champagne.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but kudos to MVP. Obviously, he mentioned his post-fight interview. His father passed away recently. I'm not sure when. So I'm sure it was tough for him not being around there. But congrats on Michael Venom Page. We'll see what happens with him moving on forward. Oh, and there's one thing I did miss Friday. It was a debut of Paige Van Zanten's current husband, Austin Vanford, who was in the Tuesday Night Contender Series last year, but never got a contract for the UFC. Not sure why.
Who?
Paige Van Zanten's husband, PVZ.
He was on the card?
Yeah, on Friday. Yeah.
Oh, how'd he do?
He won.
Good.
He won via submission. I'm not sure what it was, which was awkward. It was weird because he won his Tuesday Night Contender Series last year, but didn't get a contract through UFC or Dana White. So it is what it is. But he's on Bellator now, so good for him. He could build his name through there. He's undefeated. I think 7-8-0, something like that. So maybe eventually he'll catch the eyes of Dana White and the other guys. So good for him. Good Bellator weekend. Bellator does this once in a while. They'll do back-to-back, Friday, Saturday nights.
Yeah, they've done that before.
Yeah, like the heavyweight Grand Prix back in October. So they can do that, especially when UFC was on Sunday. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Bellator. So we'll see what happens next weekend with them. Hopefully,
SPG.
Yeah. That's another prospect that they have. The kid.
Peter Quayle, something like that. Yeah. He's on that card too. I forgot his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's his name. Something Peter Quayle.
Is it are they fighting a bunch of Russians?
That would be...
That'd be
ironic, right?
That'd be great.
Yeah. Honestly, not sure if... But yeah, that other guy, I think his name is Peter Quayle.
You know who's doing that? The AJ Miller card. It's going to be a bunch of Americans. Eddie said there's a bunch of Brits.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So a nice friendly rivalry, which is June 1st, right?
June 1st.
June 1st.
Can't wait.
Which is about...
Can't wait, baby.
We're about...
Big Baby Miller.
3.5 months away. Big Baby Miller, obviously from Brooklyn, so he's...
AJ really wants his fucking 15-week camps, bro. He's so annoying.
He wants a full camp, won't take a fight on short terms.
Oh.
I don't think the money matters. He wants his full camp, which, to each their own. Each fighter is different. Some fighters are like Cerrone, who'll take a fight 2 minutes before.
So he's willing to step in to fight.
He said it in Australia, right? I mean, yeah.
Kevin Gastelum. He's probably walking around at 185.
More or less, yeah. But yeah, every fighter is different. Obviously, some want full camp, some don't really care. Some are already in training, so it doesn't really bother them. So it is what it is. It's all part of the psyche of a fighter, I think, overall. But yeah, we'll definitely touch on the topic once we hit closer to May and June. But yeah.
Saturday also was we saw Premier Boxing Championships, which is on Fox, which is Al Heyman's baby. He's managed to with Showtime create his own, I guess, television broadcasting company promotion. He's technically not considered a promoter. He's a manager, but he acts like a promoter, and it's very, very shady because that's completely illegal. And he's known to the PBC fighters live in their own bubble. They're not allowed to fight on their own other platforms. So
either PBC or Showtime, right?
Yeah, they've been criticized in that way. I mean, I get it. I mean, they have a great stable of fighters. Like if you look at the 147, 155 4 division, they have it locked down.
Yeah,
they have. I mean, each weight class has 3 of the 4 champions. So I give that to them. They have Deontay Wilder. They have Luis Ortiz, and they might even be getting
who else?
Dillian White, because he's been talking over here.
Okay.
Ever since the frustration with the Joshua negotiations that went down, that didn't really happen. But yeah, so they had one of their events. It was Leo Santa Cruz. He was defending his WBA featherweight title, 126. He was supposed to fight another guy, but he stepped out, so he stepped up with Rafael Rivera on 3 weeks' notice. And this kid's a warrior. He looked amazing. He lost probably every round, but
he went the distance.
Yeah, Rafa gave him a clinic, but kid lasted.
And this was on FS1 or Fox?
I'm not sure. That's Leo hitting him with a jab. Leo's considered to be the top
126 guy
pound in the world. The world wanted to see a trilogy between him and Carl Frampton.
Yeah.
Because Leo's only loss has been to Carl, and they had a rematch, and then he won his title back. And a couple months ago, I think late December, Carl fought for one of the titles at 126 against I think one of the top ranked guys, Warrington for Warrington, and he actually lost. So who knows when we'll ever see that trilogy? The guy who he actually fought is game. So, but because Leo has been the champion for that long in that division, he's the man at 126.
All right. And you say
even though he only has one title, just like Callum Smith, to me, he's the man at 168, even though he only has one title. So yeah, so Leo Santa Cruz, who knows what happens next? I'm not really too sure where the other champions are in terms of broadcasting wise, because unfortunately that's why I hate boxing, man. That's why, like, for example, the breaking news today with the whole
Tyson Fury. Now we'll probably never see him fight. I'm not saying never, but
at
least for now.
Yeah, the rematch with Wilder, it's just not gonna. Now it's harder to make because he's not fighting. He's now fighting on ESPN, and we all know how like I said earlier, how Heyman likes to keep his fighters in their bubble.
Yeah.
Showtime broadcast and BBC stuff.
So let me ask you, as far as I know, what other top heavyweight is signed to Top Rank Boxing? Because I can't
exactly.
I can't think of anyone. I can't.
That's why I'm like, I'm thinking, who is this guy gonna fight?
Unless someone's contract's up that we don't know about, any top heavyweight that we know. If any of their contracts are up in the next few months.
Maybe Dillian White might go over there because he's not too happy with. With his situation with what happened with Eddie.
That's a possibility, but like when I go, well, who's there? Obviously,
I heard him on the interview today. He goes, yeah, I'm here to fight the biggest and the best, to have the biggest and best fights. I'm like, who are you gonna fight at Top Rank? And that's what ruins the sport of boxing for me. All these promoters and these broadcasting deals and stuff. That's another reason. That's a reason why I think Billy Joe went up to 168.
Yeah, he announced it yesterday.
Because all 4 titles at 160 are in the zone, and he's not with that. He's with Frank, and Frank is with, I guess, ESPN now.
Top Rank, yeah.
Frank, well, at least in America. Obviously, UK, Frank loves BT Sport.
That's there.
Yeah, just like Eddie's with
Sky Sports.
Yeah. So, well, that and also the frustration of like not being able to secure fights with Golovkin or Canelo, the big names, and I think they were speaking about like they were in talks to fighting Bubu Andrade, but like he said, you know what, the bigger fight. Like BT Sports more money, and it's automatically a title shot at 168.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe between BT and Sky Sports, are they both about the same, or was one bigger than the other one?
I'm not sure. I'm not from the UK. Sky Sports has AJ.
Yeah, so before I heard about BT Sports,
Sport has UFC. Yeah. They're the UK broadcasters.
So I just know Sky Sports before BT Sports, because Sky Sports is the one that carries the Premier League. So I knew about Sky Sports. I learned about BT Sports recently. So, but they're just like the ESPN equivalent, basically, to the UK and out there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like my brother said, the problem is exclusivity rights with these boxers. You know, where they belong to, who the promoter is.
Yeah. So going back, I really don't know what's next for Leo Santa Cruz. Again, I would love to see him either unify or maybe even get a trilogy with Carl Frampton. So, but he's a 126. That means the guys that maybe move up and fight freaking Gervonta. Will he win?
Only a few more pounds. 4
more pounds. That's the next division. Yeah. 4 more pounds. So yeah, that's what happened with boxing on Saturday. Yeah.
Was there was 2 title fights in that card, right? I think I saw.
No. That was the main event was the co-main event. No, it was not. It was Omar Figueroa Jr. It's 2 guys that
I recognize one of the names.
John Molina Jr. He fought.
I remember that name.
Broner, and he lost. And then Omar Figueroa Jr. was supposed to fight Broner last year, but he stepped out, and then Jesse Vargas stepped in.
Got it. Okay. All right.
And it was supposed to be at 140, but none of them. I think Molina couldn't make it, or Omar, so they did a catch weight at 145.
Okay. All right.
Which was interesting.
Yeah. So it was a quiet week for boxing. But it was a free championship fight on TV.
Yeah.
Which a couple years ago you wouldn't see that, but now you do with all these platforms we have out there. But I think that was it for Saturday, right? It was just the Bellator and the Premier Boxing. Then Sunday, obviously, President's Day weekend.
We had some WWE, some pro wrestling.
Yeah, some pro wrestling. Which is the annual February slot, which has been for the past couple of years. Excuse me. Elimination Chamber match last year, and me and Danny Bones really enjoyed this card.
Yeah, it was very good wrestling.
Yes, that's exactly what he said last night.
Wrestling.
Good wrestling. It was very good wrestling.
And the only promo was great too, because I felt that was very violent. That's how you promote a super fight for WrestleMania. Exactly. That was just. I'm like this. It looked very real. Like, what is she doing? When she was beating the shit out of them with the crutches, it looked incredible. It was amazing. And
I mean, not that it was obvious, but I kind of figured there'll be a promo, because obviously Ruby Riott was a total sacrificial lamb. We knew that match was gonna last 2-3 minutes at most, so there had to be something in. I go, once the match is done, someone's gonna come out. Obviously, Charlotte came out, and then after Charlotte came out, Becky Lynch came out over her crutches, and then you saw the beatdown that she got. It's a pay-per-view,
so you gotta promote it. You have to promote it. You just gotta make it big.
Yeah, and like I said, they're selling it really good. We'll see the fall tonight or tomorrow on Raw and SmackDown about Becky Lynch, so supposedly 60-day suspension, but we'll see about that tonight. But overall, I like Chamber. It was really good. I like how it started out with the women's tag team champions.
It was a pretty entertaining match. It was alright. It was okay. And Naomi and Carmelo, the first one's gone, which is funny.
First one gone, yeah.
But the winners were
first one gone, and the first one to come in.
Yeah.
They open off the entrances.
The winners were
I want to say probably the fan favorites.
Yeah, the Boston
Hug Connection. Yeah.
Sasha Banks and Bailey. Great to see them win it. They're 2 pioneers of this women's revolution. Mm-hmm. They're very deserving of it, if anyone. But also, you know what I feel it is, though?
What's up?
I feel like WWE's making it up to at least Sasha, because
not being in the title picture for a long time.
No, because she said that she said a couple of weeks ago she'd be very upset if she wasn't the first person, one of the first females to ever main event WrestleMania, and it's a possibility like this WrestleMania is going to be headlined by the females, by that little
Ronda,
which we don't know. So I get fine. We'll give you that's the way I saw it. Maybe not, but I was super happy for them. Very emotional for them. They're very deserving of that.
Yes, I do agree. So I was surprised because I told you just because. The past few weeks, well, since post WWE Evolution, when you saw Nia Jax and Tamina team up together in that battle royale, I saw the momentum being built up, and they were winning a lot of matches. And I really thought they would have won last night, and they would have fought Bailey and Sasha at WrestleMania, and Bailey and Sasha would have won at WrestleMania. That's what I thought was going to happen, because there was such a push for Tamina and Nia Jax. This whole Samoan sisterhood, whatever you want to call it. And we know how much Vince loves Samoans in general.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to win, but obviously that wasn't the case. So my guess for WrestleMania, probably Sasha and Bailey versus Tamina and Nia Jax, and they were all good. I thought Sonya Deville and Mandy Sachs, the third team that was left, they did really good. Iconics were okay. I know they eliminated somebody. I forgot Carmella and Naomi, and then the Riot Squad. They held their ground. I think they all held their ground. It was a good match overall. Great way to start off. Like you said, it was almost an hour. I think about 50 minutes, give or take. Good match. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, good stuff.
Really
happy for those two. See what happens at WrestleMania. I'm sure they have a couple weeks to promote it.
But Chamber was nuts because besides giving you belts, there was a couple of title changes too, to be exact.
Yeah, for example, I didn't see this coming at all.
No, we didn't. We thought, let's give them a run, but
especially after this week's events.
Yeah,
look at that. Six time,
right? Seis
time tag team champions.
6 veces SmackDown.
Jimmy catches. He got the pin and he caught the charge.
Yeah, he did this week.
So
wild week for WWE.
Yeah,
very wild.
I guess. You know what? I don't even think it's that. I think that's just part of the plan, or maybe that was for the fans. I don't know.
I think you're right because
just to throw them off.
I guess maybe WWE didn't want to give Shane and Miz a run. It was just like a one-time thing, probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
I thought maybe a run to WrestleMania, maybe.
Right.
But like any review, we'll see the result on Tuesday. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens there.
I love. Good.
Well, how do you think they're the greatest of all time?
In WWE,
they're still better than the Hardys.
Hardys are like an 8-9 time, right?
No, they're like a 7 time.
Oh damn! Edge and Christian.
I don't know. No, I don't think no one's more than the Hardys.
It's hard because
because the Hardys were also pioneers.
Yeah, that's another thing. So it's hard. I mean, and we grew up during both eras.
Yeah, they're different eras too.
Yeah, so
I mean, obviously now that match wouldn't be what it would be.
Yeah, because obviously Hardys are older.
Hardys are, and Matt's like retired almost.
The match that everyone wants to see obviously is the Bucks versus
that
the
was, that was a fight. That was
because they're twin brothers, both of them.
No, they're not brothers. They're not twins.
Oh, Matt and Nick are
one is a little older.
It's
that was the
since like 2 years ago, I think. Or maybe
I've been calling. I was screaming for that match. It's like it's the most. Oh man,
most anticipated.
And we'll probably never see it.
But you know what? Now that I think about it in hindsight, remember how I told you last week that the Usos contract was up sometime after WrestleMania? Maybe this is a way for WWE to say, hey, you know what? Stay in WWE. We'll give you back the titles. Remember, it's all. At the end of the day, it's a business. We don't know what happens in the back. We're not producers. We're not insiders. But these are all things you think about. Their contract's up. I'm sure they'll get a hefty raise, but on top of that, they'll get their titles. So it's all these are all business moves too, to say at least.
Right. So,
but congrats.
Yeah, no, they're legends. They're cemented. They're to me, they're the best. Them and the Hardys.
Promos, they're great as heels. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Yeah. No, yeah, especially this gimmick they've had the past 2 years.
Yeah, since I think this is a SmackDown draft. I think that's since they changed, because that whole fruity thing wasn't happening for me. It really wasn't.
Yeah, but besides that, again there was a title change. Finn Balor became Intercontinental Champion.
Balor Club,
which was good for him.
You weren't that excited, were you?
No, I didn't care.
Balor Club. I'm telling you. Vince told him, take this L to Brock. I got you.
Yeah, probably.
He goes, take his L. Just get beat down by Brock. Let him win. I got you with a belt. But, he got... I mean, it was like Smash. It was handicapped 2-on-1.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He won.
But yeah, the night ended with Elimination Chamber. I thought it was a great match because all the players in it were just serious players,
and they're all top SmackDown guys.
Yeah, there's
no mid-card guy there really.
No, it was great. And then the top of that, Kofi came in with like the match of the week last week.
Yep, the gauntlet match, right? You said.
And then he ends it with Brian, and just the ending was so. This is what I want to show about the match. I don't want to see Dan winning.
The picture was epic. Yeah.
Yeah, just his brothers coming to see him. It was the whole crowd was chanting Kofi. Even what he said to AJ this past Tuesday, like I've been here 11 years, man. It's my time.
Yeah. He's always been a mid-card guy.
So, and now the fans are clamoring for Daniel Bryan versus Kofi at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, we'll see what happens Tuesday. Why not? I'm always all for the underdogs.
Yes.
I was so excited to see Jinder Mahal become champion that one time, even though it was a terrible reign.
It was an India thing.
So
WWE India thing.
All for Kofi versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we'll see. And obviously, for those who don't know, and obviously, so the original plan obviously was for Mustafa Ali. So Mustafa Ali was supposed to be the last guy against Daniel Bryan, but obviously he got hurt, and it happens like in any sport. You're expendable, and Kofi put on a hell of a match, and he took the reins from there.
Right.
But it was supposed to be Mustafa Ali's spot. He was supposed to get that big push, that big title push, or at least contend to Daniel Bryan. But Kofi Kingston, like you said, he's always been a mid-card guy. He's been there 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
And I think he proved that he can hang with the big dogs. He could. He proved, and it was a good group. It was veterans. They're all veterans if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
They're all been there. They've all put in 10, 12 years in this wrestling business even more. It was a great match. The team match was really, really good. I liked them all. I think the only match that was pretty bad was probably obviously the little jobber match between Corbin and Strowman.
Yeah, but now a new heel alliance is formed, which I'm excited for.
Big three men, they're like 7 feet tall.
Because I love this Baron Corbin, so I'm excited to see what happens with that. See what happens with Leo Rush after this.
Oh, you saw what happened after the match, right?
Yeah.
The almighty Bobby Lashley. So he's going back to 205.
Probably.
No more live TV for him.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that was
we were impressed.
Elimination Chamber. I was very, very satisfied with that. That would be another boring pay-per-view from WWE. But they've been on a roll this year, and they have to. They just have to be. They can
with competition, circulating and everything.
Stateside
too. Yeah, competition is circulating sooner rather than later, so they have to. They gotta be on their toes to say.
Absolutely.
And then
and they're delivering, so we'll see what happens. Even though last week's Raw was just terrible. I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, we just caught the end when the Royal finally won their belts. Tag team. That was really good, actually. That match was really, really good.
Yeah, Vince said.
Vince said, "Come on,
not
man.
letting them go.
You ain't being released. I'll give you a title." So
especially because it has to be because of what's going on.
Of course, yeah. No, that's fair. But yeah, overall, I like it. If I do Dave Meltzer stars, I'll say a 4 out of 5. Why not? It's pretty good. Fastlane, usually the March preview is always kind of bad, so hopefully this year it's not bad because it's obviously before WrestleMania. But Fastlane usually has always been kind of bad because it's kind of it's right before WrestleMania. Who cares about that? But like you said, new direction for WWE, so we'll see what happens to them, and we'll see what happens tonight on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I'd say with the square circle with WWE, last night was monumental for the UFC. It was the first event on their ESPN network, not ESPN Plus, ESPN. So that's very monumental for them. They were in Phoenix last night with the return of
one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, Cain Velasquez,
who was gone,
former 2-time heavyweight champion.
Was gone for almost 2.5 years. It would have been 3 in July. He was gone for 2.5 years. A lot of injuries, back surgeries I think he had, but he came back last night, fought in his hometown, right? I think it was Phoenix.
Yeah.
We caught some of the card.
Yeah, and got to start it off with our very own Aljo, the Fuckmaster, Aljamain Sterling. He bested and outpointed the one and only Jimmy Rivera.
From Jersey, both of guys.
I'm told that it was a clear dominance, and right there we go. We got Long Wide Man MMA has another title contender in their division with Al Quinta and him. I would love to see him fight the winner of Cody and Pedro.
Pedro Moon, that's right. And then I forgot Cody is fighting.
That's the fight to me.
And Pedro Moon is like this new phenom, right? I think so. Yeah, from what I
love
read.
To see that because why? Because I'd love to see Cody versus Aljo.
That'll be good. Absolutely correct.
Or maybe
because Jimmy right now he needs to take a break because he lost to Morales last year, head kicked. Lost to Aljamain again this year, so he needs to. Yeah. He's on a sideline for now.
So that Aljo lost to Morales. He got
that knock. Yeah, I mean,
that was a nasty knockout.
Yeah. So yeah, bantamweight division's kind of like in shuffles now. Obviously, we don't know what happens with TJ and Henry Cejudo. So we'll see what happens.
Aljo, I think, had the submission of the year last year.
Aljamain?
Yeah. when
Which
he
fight?
fought in September.
Oh, the 208. Yeah, he fought. He was in the.
And speaking of award, I think of the Daley Venom fight is a contender for fight of the year. That was.
It went. Like you said, it literally went back and forth.
And that's what fight of the years are.
Yeah, it went back.
Those kind of fights.
Think about it like a tennis. The ball's going back evenly. There was moments where I thought Venom was gonna tap him out in the 5th round. You saw he got his back and his guard, but yeah, for early contender for first quarter, that's definitely one of the best matches we've seen so far.
Definitely.
But as far as the prelims, I think that was the biggest match on the prelims that I saw. But then we go on to the main event, the main card. Sorry.
You saw Francis Ngannou, the Predator, against the former heavyweight champion, and it ended in 26 seconds.
Right? And you know the unfortunate part is, man,
he blew his knee out because, I mean, all the replays and analysts say is because he caught him, and when he went to go fall down, he fell awkwardly, and that blew his knee out.
You know, and
Cain says otherwise. All the analysts say otherwise. Obviously, Cain, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks going this way when you're gone for 2.5 years.
Yeah,
that's even worse. You know.
Yeah, I tweeted, "Yo, Vince, send that contract over, man. It's time for NXT." He
was there a few months ago. He's absolutely correct. He was training down at the PC. But yeah, it sucks. You're gone for 2.5 years, more or less, and you come back and you fight a top guy. It's not like you're fighting like a cherry picker or or some nobody, but that is Francis Ngannou. He is one of the most baddest, scariest men. Dana White had said it. Big win for him, by the way. Against a former champion. You know, he had a 2-fight losing streak, lost to Stipe about a year ago last year. Then he got outright by Derek Lewis in the summer. And then he came back, knocked out Curtis Blades, and came back a few months later, knocked out Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, good for him. In the first round, too.
Yep, both first rounds.
Going back to his Predator ways.
That's right. And I told you yesterday, and Ariel Helwani set up last week, he said this match reminded him of Khabib and Conor. He goes, if it would have finished right away, it would have been a Conor knockout. It would have been a Ngannou knockout. He goes, if it would have gone the distance, like round 4 or 5.
Yeah, definitely.
It would have been, Cain wrestling the crap out of Ngannou.
I see that, yeah.
So, and that resemblance, not comparing the fighters to McGregor or Khabib. But at this point, he got the knockout. It wasn't pretty. You saw he blew out his knee. It's unfortunate. We'll see what happens with him now because he's already like in his mid-30s. He's been a bunch of injuries. He's out for 2.5 years. Who knows
we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Daniel Cormier did say in an interview that he goes I'll destroy or finish Ngannou.
But he's not gonna fight him though.
No,
because even Dana said they have a fight lined up for him. I imagine it's either Brock, maybe Stipe. But if it's the Brock thing, I think they're gonna want to probably do Stipe versus Ngannou too.
Yeah, I can see that. OH.
Yeah.
The Coleman event was phenomenal.
Yeah. Paul Felder, man.
Yeah.
Freaking pierced his lung too.
Yep, collapsed lung. He can't do reporting duties this week.
Great striking, man. Good stuff.
And you saw James
very impressed.
Vick. Yeah, very impressed. James Vick is also not an easy opponent.
No, he's not.
He can hang in there. That was a good fight. I don't know who won fight of the night or performance of the night. Didn't really look into that.
Should go to Aljamain.
Probably. Other news too. Kron Gracie. I apologize, I said it wrong. Kron Gracie, one of the legendary family.
Made his UFC debut with Nate Diaz corner him, and he got the win.
And that's famous because Nate Diaz exploded last night.
Yeah, he was going crazy.
Yeah, I'll be back soon.
Yeah, we're coming.
So he got his win via submission against Alex Caraceras, featherweight, I think in the second round. And I think besides that, the other one was the alpha male, Cynthia Clavijo. I don't know who she fought. I really don't know. But she ended up with the win.
But she's still cornered by
Buckles was there. I did see that. Yeah,
he's her coach.
Yeah. I caught that, and I saw Fabio Prado there too. So yeah, I mean, good for them. Alpha Male's been kind of quiet these past couple of weeks. But we'll see what happens. But overall, good card. Was the first on the ESPN network, the main channel.
It was cool.
It was cool. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was just a very eventful weekend of combat sports.
It was, and
not ending.
It wasn't ending, especially because UFC usually does Saturdays. They don't do Sunday night fights, but probably because of the holiday. Today was a holiday. And we call obviously chamber match, so it was pretty packed. Bellator, boxing, but yeah. Danny Bones, anything else you want to touch about UFC or any other topic in combat sport?
What's the next UFC thing?
Next Saturday in Poland, ESPN Plus. So the card here airs at 2 p.m. and I think Europe is a 6-hour difference, so like 8 o'clock over there. So the 2 p.m. afternoon
Who's
card.
fighting?
Good question. I think Blankovich is fighting. I think that's his name. Some of the light heavyweights are fighting.
Yeah, I don't think
and I think Gunnar Nelson's in that card too, because the European card. I believe they're in Glasgow, Poland. I think it's Poland. Yeah. It's a 2 p.m. start over here in Eastern Time. Bellator has obviously another European card in Dublin, Ireland. There's obviously no WWE, as far as we know.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any boxing. Let's see what Matchroom's doing.
Well, I know Friday night there's that Next Generation Showtime.
Yeah, Showtime has like a super middleweight fight.
That Next Generation thing, right? I think.
Yeah. Is it 23rd next week?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Brandon Rio, Bam Bam is fighting.
On his own?
Yeah, because he's with Matchroom, and he's actually returning to Mexico. He hasn't fought there in 10 years.
What part of Mexico? You know?
I don't know.
All right.
And then Top Rank, let's see what they're doing.
Trying to think. What else had I see? I saw a schedule real fast.
I don't think they're doing anything. Yeah, I think just that I can think off the top of my head is the Bam Bam fight, Brandon Rios, and then the super middleweight fight for Showtime.
Yeah, but I know the following week, March 2nd, obviously is UFC. Then you have the Showtime fight with Laura over here at the Barclays Center.
Okay, yeah, we'll probably be back for that.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think other news week, obviously, All Elite Wrestling last Wednesday, their first event pay per view, all of Double Front thing sold out in about 4 minutes.
When is it in May?
Memorial Day weekend, May 25th, I believe it is. That's Saturday. They sold out within 4 minutes.
Good for them.
This is really, this is something this is organic. This is natural. This is, like I told you last week.
They have billionaire backing.
Yes, they do. And Tony Khan, the son, he is. I heard his interview with Chris Jericho. He is a hardcore wrestling fan. I heard the interview. He grew up watching WWF, WCW, ECW, all that stuff. But this is the most heat that Vince has faced in a long time.
Without a doubt. That's why they've been on their toes.
Yeah, I'm not saying they have him by the balls, but it's some kind of heat, and WWE obviously is trying to answer back or clap back.
They're not trying to let go of anyone right now.
They're not, and that's why they're probably bringing back DX tonight or something, because obviously they're the first inductee of the 2019.
Well, either way, they have to start announcing now. It's the WrestleMania season.
That's true, and it's always about 5 or 6 members that get into inducted.
Next week is the Ric Flair thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So, but Brock will be back.
Yeah, Brock has 3 more appearances before WrestleMania. I know
Brock,
but he probably won't talk. Probably won't talk.
Of course.
Give more advice to Seth. I completely forgot Seth Rollins was on the card yesterday. I just passed my mind, and Dean Ambrose, none of them. But I mean, when you have combined reviews, obviously wrestlers will be left out of the cards.
Wasn't he a little hurt too?
Yeah, he's banged up. Broke up with his girl. Maybe that's why too. Emotional breakup. Crazy week for WWE. Who else? Mustafa Ali, obviously he's a little banged up, but it's part of the game. We'll see tonight on Monday Night Raw what happens. The fallout between Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda, the new heel faction. Apparently, all of a sudden, I think Braun's being written off because he needs surgery. I think it's in his elbow or somewhere in his bicep where he needs surgery, so he's being written off, obviously. Little Rush, like you said, a lot of storylines. We'll see what happens with Dean Ambrose. Obviously, you know the story about Dean Ambrose. He is officially not re-signed with WWE, but we don't know what that means. Does that mean he's done wrestling, or is he going to All Elite? That would be so good if he goes to All Elite. Oh my god,
that'd be crazy. But we'll see what happens. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, it's that time of year. It's wrestling fever. WrestleMania season. Like,
yeah, it's the best.
Even the casual fans will maybe tune in for SmackDown or Raw, all that stuff, and then the promotion. I'm sure some of them will be on ESPN probably because they're obviously here in New York. So we'll see what happens. But it's good to be back. We're gone for a few weeks. We're gonna tweak some stuff around.
Yeah.
We got here Denny Bums. Anything else, Denny Bums you want to talk about? I'm trying to go over real fast. I'm trying to think.
No, just how do you think the heavyweight picture plays out for the UFC?
So we have Daniel Cormier. He last defended his title back in November. Derek Lewis, obviously, I don't know when he's fighting. I like what you said. Ngannou will probably fight Stipe if Stipe wants to take that fight. But I'm sure Stipe is going to bark back, oh, I already beat him. But like you said, you said that they already have a fight lineup for Cormier, so we'll see what happens. Because with Lesnar, Lesnar, you have no idea. Dana White said it. It's WWE or UFC. You have no idea where Brock Lesnar's going to happen. We have no idea. I know his contract ends a little past WrestleMania, so things can change. It's a fight game. Things change.
And it's the same thing with the heavyweight division in boxing. It's just so...
It can be a plan A, but then plan B, C, D.
It's just so... And especially with this morning's curveball, it's like we thought the whole Wilder Fury thing was going to happen, and now it's probably most...
Because the rematch
might
clause
not even happen.
Was like this week, right? Or like
the
one
purse bids, but
yeah.
apparently in the contract it never said anything about... It still might get done because maybe... Because I read that, like, it might be in the contract said nothing about, like, if the rematch has to be on Showtime.
Okay, yeah. So there's still legality work.
But knowing, because Al Heyman is, he keeps his fighters in his bubble. I'm not crazy about Bob, but even Bob said that once a couple of weeks ago. He said that multiple times. Al Heyman is a cancer for the sport. And anyways, do I feel like that? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I just don't like. I just don't like how politics of boxing has ruined the sport. But anyways, and also with the whole AJ thing. I'm happy for Big Baby Miller, but is he? He's a top 5 fighter.
But is he the ideal one for AJ, right?
To me, it should. If it's just, it's such a mess right now, because I understood if Fury's gonna fight, Wilder's gonna fight Fury, then the fight to make was with Dillian White. They dropped the ball on that. Eddie dropped the ball on that. Eddie, not just that, you saw Eddie, he chose sides there.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
They were offering Dillian White peanuts, less than he got for his last fight.
The last fight, yeah. Like I said, part of the fight game, and like in any kind of field, there's always politics, favoritism, nepotism, whatever you want to call it.
Now Deontay Wilder is gonna need a fight, because I picture, I imagine AJ wins this, he'll go fight one more time in the fall, and imagine it's going to want to be Wilder or someone legitimate.
Yeah. So
it just, heavyweight division in boxing and UFC is just a mess right now.
It's like you say, it's a pipe dream. Like, so I thought about this. Obviously, it would never happen because they won't co-promote. I would like to see. I think a lot of people want to see Ryan Bader versus Dan Cormier, because there's beef there from UFC before he left.
Right. At what division?
Both champions. Can you do cruiserweight in between? Like 235. You can do that.
We'll see, man.
But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, there's always and the fight game is always plan A, plan B, plan C. So and wrestling too. Things Roman Reigns was supposed to fight Dean Ambrose as the main event. Obviously not the case anymore. Now it's obviously.
When's Fastlane?
Fastlane is I believe the second week of March, I believe, which is March 10th, which is about 3 weeks out. Yeah, because then WrestleMania. Because we're officially 7 weeks away from WrestleMania, 48 days. So you figure about 3 weeks. But that's all. Guys, thank you for tuning in. For the subscribers, shout out to Joshua for following us on Twitter and YouTube. We should be back next week. Please follow us at bumptalk_. And any questions, any concerns, whatever, leave down here in the comments or email us at bumptalk1@gmail.com.
Tweet us.
Whatever it is.
Follow us.
Text us. Whatever it is.
If you want to be on the show, let us know.
Let us know.
It's going to happen.
All right.
If you just ask and you'll be on the show, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks again.
Enjoy the week. Make sure to catch Raw and SmackDown tonight. All right. Have a good night, guys.